Man, you, man. Literally you. I mean,
Nah, for sure, man. Respect what these guys have done for the basketball culture. I definitely watch the movie 2 times a week. So yeah, 2 times a week. So y'all know what it is, man. I'm watching
hey,
Mad Above the Rim. I'm watching all the good ones, man. All the real back when they used to make the good documentaries and the good movies.
Hoop Dreams, the podcast, an Unlearning Network production.
man, first of all, I just want to say I'm hyped about today's show. We got a showman of showmen on today. Ladies and gentlemen of the Hoop Dreams podcast, joining us today, a native of the DC area. He was a standout guard from St. Bonaventure Bunnies, where he hit not one, not two, not three, 101 threes in his senior season, and was the fastest player to hit 100 threes at the school. Guess what? He went on to his senior season and decided, you know what? Since I need to take my level of play to the next level. He went on to a pro career in Canada, Mexico, China, and Iceland before becoming one of the most sought-after shooters in the NBA. You hear me, Agee? In the NBA, they look to him to get it done. He's worked with stars such as Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Candace Parker, Chi-Town Love. He has a brand deal with Red Bull, and of course, the greatness himself, Michael Jordan, including having his own shooter, Jordan 36 Low. He has appeared in more commercials and movies. He shot in front of the pyramids in Egypt. And get this, Agee, he's getting ready to head to Japan this summer. Not to battle. Let's just let you know how cold his game is. They had to create something to shoot against this brother. He's going to shoot against a robot. From what I've seen, don't miss. I can't wait to see that one. We like to welcome to the show the one, the only. Some call him Mr. Matthews, but we gonna call him the one and only, the lethal shooter. I'm Will Gates, and that's my dog.
Arthur Agee, Chris, appreciate you joining here, man. Coming on the show, bro. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you guys. Like I said before, man, it's you guys have inspired many. You guys are like Michael Jordan to me, man. So I appreciate your guys' story, because those type of stories need to be told out. I'm surprised they didn't do a 2 or 3, man, because I feel like what you guys did for the culture, what you're doing for the culture, man, is priceless, man. So to come on here is a dream come true.
Well, I tell you this, hold on to that thought, because me and my dog, man, actually, we got a project we're working on called Hoop Legacy. So hold on to that. We may be calling you for an interview on that one too. So hold on for that. But man, before we even get started into everything, we always ask everyone who comes on this show, man, have you seen the movie? And what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I seen the movie. I'm actually 38. A lot of people don't know my age. So I saw the movie long time ago. And it's just your story kind of relates to mine. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know, because I don't really put it out there. But, my biological parents, I know how it is being in the 80s, baby. They was, in their situation. So I didn't grow up with them. And, my biological father actually OD'd a few years back, and my biological mom still fighting certain issues. And growing up in DC was extremely hard and gruesome. And I feel like y'all's story is how my story is. You know what I mean? Just trying to make it out of something out of nothing. You know what I mean? And then they put us in these situations, and it's no excuse, but like you guys did a good job of showing the truth. And I feel like I said before, a lot of basketball movies now, a lot of basketball documentaries don't really show the truth. And I think you guys did a great job of that. That's why every time I watch our story when I'm having those low moments, or the moments that I feel like damn, but you know what? Let me go watch this, because I remember when things wasn't easy for Will, blah blah blah, and it's just like, like I was telling my PR team, like I gotta talk to you guys, because you guys are like, I'm not even being funny, man. Y'all like my Michael Jordan, man. The same way, how you felt when you first saw Isaiah Thomas. That's how I feel being on this podcast, seeing you guys. the real hoopers know that you guys are like the driving force of basketball.
That's amazing, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, listen. We gonna have to wrap that one up. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate that because man, the reality is, it's funny, Lita. Agee and I was just talking about this, man. How because we were kind of like the first to do this,
Mhm.
we can get removed from its meaning because we know there's a little of this hoop dream story in every athlete. So we can
Mhm.
kind of get removed. So we really appreciate the fact, man, that you put that out there because we didn't know what it was going to become. But because it did become what it has become, sometimes we find ourselves fighting for that legacy, because everybody now, we look up Hoop Dreams is this and hashtag Hoop
Come
Dreams
on.
that. Hashtag, and AG and I like, but we Hoop Dreams,
Mhm.
So we appreciate that love from you, man. But listen, our show, though we call it, the Hoop Dreams Podcast, is really Lethal Weapons Podcast
Yeah.
today. Man, we want to know your origin story. So let me throw this at you, man. Take us back to DC. You talked a little bit earlier about, growing up in the 80s, the 90s. But what was the neighborhood like for you?
Yeah, it was rough, you know what I mean? But I do a good job. As you guys know, I'm in the corporate world, so I do a good job of speaking a certain way and doing stuff a certain way. But I grew up, like I said, in a really tough situation that's coming out in my documentary that's coming out in about a month that I shot with Red Bull. But I just wanted to tell my story because a lot of people, they don't know me. They just see the stuff on social
Yep.
media. But the stuff on social media is kind of like, not corporate and fake, but it's like I can't really show. Like a good example is, a lot of people don't know that 4 days ago, one of my childhood friends, Harlan, he OD'd, man. You know what I mean? One of my best friends, Idris, man, we grew up together since middle school. He got killed. 2 weeks ago, another friend of mine got killed because DC, the neighborhoods that I grew up in, they still in neighborhood wars, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I put up something like 3 days ago on my Facebook and Instagram, and then I just spoke to some of my cousins and a few family members. They was like, some stuff shouldn't go up, and they was right, but it was one of the moments that it's like, damn, like I just hate that all this stuff is going on. I don't even want those family members to think I'm not thinking of my friends because I'm so detached right now because I got kids, I got a family, I live all the way in LA now. So, and these are the things that people don't know that I'm battling growing up from DC. Like I just came back from doing something in College Park, Maryland, because I actually lived there for 4 years. And in College Park, Maryland right now, since the gentrification, they moving everybody from DC to Maryland. The crime rate is actually going really high in Maryland. So I went back with the Park Police, University of Maryland Police, and the State Police to host something for the kids. But what people don't know was I couldn't post it, but some of my volunteers, they was kingpins that I grew up with. Some of my volunteers, they were good childhood friends of mine that just got out of jail. Some of the people that was helping there were people that unfortunately they might be still selling that work. But I was just trying to get the community together to show that if we could come together, we can all win to stop these type of things. And like you guys understand, like the only way that we can all stop what's going on, the stories have to be told. And that's why I always go back to my community at least once a month, even if I live in LA, to just let the kids know, look, man, I love y'all. I ain't no millionaire, I ain't nothing like that, but I'm gonna set up this program here. I'm gonna give you guys this here. Like we gave 2 scholarships to kids at the last program because a lot of kids in my neighborhood. See, I was lucky. I played basketball, so in the summer I played for DC Assault. I'm traveling the world. I'm playing basketball. So a lot of kids in my neighborhood, they can't leave the neighborhood. So we set up a scholarship through my dad where any camp that these kids want to go to, they can go to a camp if they want to leave the neighborhood. And it's sometimes a kid, if he leave the neighborhood and come back, and somebody be like, yo, we about to go on a move, man. Come hold this jump for me real quick so we can put in this work. He might think about like, dang, I just went to West Virginia. I just saw how it is out there. And I went to North Carolina. It's more stuff out here, just DC and Maryland, bro. I ain't trying to shoot nobody today. And I want to be that inspiration in my community to just let everybody know that that we all can make it. You know what I mean? Because I love my family, I love my friends, but I just feel like, what my family and my friends have done is just is just a definition of what was taught to us, if that makes sense, and what we got to do to survive. And unfortunately, when you're in an environment and we're all in this small box, if that means I got to attack somebody that I know that's your cousin, that's what happens in that small box.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of what you did, man, what you still doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about, the DC area and DC assault. My girl, Susie K, with the Hoop Dream Scholarship Fund 3-on-3 that she used to do out there in front of the Capitol. Man, so I'm very familiar with that type of inner city work, man. And even like Will can contest to where we both grew up at in the Cabrini Green area. They gentrifying that whole area. Will was on a committee to try to get them people, hey man, don't kick us out. Let lower that rent so these people can stay in these in this area they grew up in 30, 20 years.
Right. And that's what happened to one of my projects. It's around Bennett Place, and what's happened, like you already know, they'll give you a voucher. So the voucher, you'll live somewhere. And remember, this ain't cool. So I'm not trying to say we need to be stuck in our projects, but if we've been in the same projects since our grandmother been there, then you give me a voucher to move me 60 miles away. And then once everybody moves out of that project, you turn it to a condo.
Yeah.
That's unfair. So a situation like this happened with one of my sisters. They switched her side of the street to Capitol Hill, and they tried to give everybody a voucher. And I told her, this is what everybody has to go to the news. Everybody got to stand outside. Everybody got to fight. Because if we've been living in these situations, they need to make sure that at least some of these tenants stay there, because they can't just kick you out. And that's what they did. So now, they had to keep like 80% of the people in the building and renovate the building. But that's what comes with us as a people too, just realizing, if grandma had a house or something, if grandma died, don't sell the house. Try your best to try to keep the house or something like that, or keep it in the family. Or I feel like we have to do a better job in our communities, as well as we fighting over turf that we don't even own. You get where I'm coming from? Like we'll be beefing with 14th and Clifton and beefing with CTU, and not saying this is cool or not, but it's like, we don't own this property. I can see if this is the land I own, I'm gonna kill you for this land now. But it's like we beefing over stuff from the drug game from the 80s and the early 90s, and the stuff that's happening now. And it's just, it can stop, bro. We all can come together as a people to just understand that we're powerful together than against us. And that's the biggest story that I push with my brand with these kids. And that's why I love you guys, because you guys was showing certain things that people just don't understand. Like, that scene when you was on the court, with your father, you know what I'm saying? And your father walked off because he was trying to cop. I've been in situations like that, bro. When I came out my apartment complex, I probably seen my biological father, bro. Remember, he lived in DC. I probably seen this dude like 7 times. 3 of them times, he copping from dudes that I know. And the same with you. I'm like, Dad, what's up? Like, and it's like, he look, but it's like, it's so shameful that he don't even want to, boom. So my dad that raised me, which was my cousin, I'm like, man, shit, that man's fucked up. What's going on? He's like, man, don't worry about it. If you want to build a relationship, keep fighting, keep trying, because that was his uncle. So you know how it is. Once somebody gets in that rim, their brain still be in 92, but it be 2024. And then they'll look up like, dang, 25 years then passed. You know what I mean? So it's just, man, just trying to educate people more on my story, because where I'm going, my story has to be told more like how you guys told your story at an early age.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, man, because I've so many things you said, man. I felt all of that.
Yeah.
What's the other side of that? And what I mean by that is like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, so late at night, I have my moment. So like what I never do that people don't understand is I do have childhood trauma, because of the situation I grew up in. But since I have kids, you can't let them see that trauma because they didn't do nothing to you, if that made sense. Like my girl didn't do nothing to me. So if I'm having one of them low moments, I might go for a car ride or something and listen to Marvin Gaye or listen to Kirk Franklin or John P. Key or Mississippi Mass Choir or different things to just stimulate me, because those type of moments, what people don't know is, when my cousins took me in, which is my mom and dad, they took me in, my grandfather was a preacher. So they used to always send me to North Carolina, which I hated that shit. But the one thing I realized as I got to like my teenage years, they was sending me to North Carolina because all the stuff that my real family was doing in the streets in DC. So they was sending me to North Carolina to just get away from that stuff. So in North Carolina, I'm in the church, I'm going to conventions, I'm helping in the kitchen. So that's why I got that root in my brain where it's like, you know what? I'm having a low moment. Let me listen to some Mississippi Mass Choir, or let me listen to some Shirley Caesar. Or if it's late at night, I have to fix this, but this isn't cool. I go to sleep every night, probably like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, because late at night is my time to myself where I might watch the trailer of Hoop Dreams and have a little tearful moment, or watch Mike Tyson talking about his trainer and have a tearful moment, or watch Muhammad Ali and have a tearful moment, because these are people that went through trauma to be who they are. Think about all the most successful people all of us know: Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, you guys. It's not cool, but normally 9 times out of 10, an African American that's successful, it's because that trauma pushed us to run through the wall, and that's what pushes me. But if you don't have that balance, like you're saying, man, you really won't be successful. And the way I cope with that balance, like I said, I'll have moments to myself, talking to myself, not back and forth to myself, but it's like, you know what? You are supposed to be the first person in your family with a house, or you are supposed to have 2 cars, or you are supposed to have a manager and a PR team and a agency that's working. Because, sometimes we come from, it's like, man, shit, man. Like, I mean, am I really supposed to feel this way? Like when celebrities when I be training celebrities, like last week I trained Diplo. He's one of the top DJs in the world. And when I went over his house in Malibu, I was a little uncomfortable. I'm like, God damn, this nigga house big as a muff. And then when he greeted me, he like, man, Lethal, man, what's up, man? Then I had to tell myself again, man, this is you. This is where you belong. Like, you was born for this. So it's like still having that a little bit of insecurity that like, damn, I really made it. And the fear of losing everything to go back how I started, if that made sense. So that and I have to break that slave mindset too. Because I had a talk with my financial advisor. She was like, sometimes I take out on my family on how I grew up. So like, I'd be like, yo, my daughter want to go to Disneyland, but I don't think she like, it's fine. You can take your daughter to Disneyland. You can stay for a few days. Cause I'm still in that mindset that like, I'm on EBT and I gotta use my card a certain way. And my lights ain't on. And like, it was times that, bro, I had to sleep in the car because the house we had, to have heat, you had to get oil. I don't know if y'all know about them type of house. You had to get oil in the house. We couldn't even afford to have the oil trucks come. So I wasn't tripping though. I sleep in the car for a few hours, go back in the house, put a coat on, put my jeans on, put like 3, 4 layers of clothes on, go right to sleep, wake up, go to school. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm in the mindset here that the AC or something will be on. And I'd be like, man, cut the AC on. What y'all doing, man? Open up these windows. But I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that mentality. And like you're saying, if I don't have that balance, I'll take it out on my kids, and my kids will be messed up. You get what I mean?
I'm glad you said that, man, because I think a lot of people, I hope our audience hear how you deal with the mental aspect of that. Because I think for a lot of us, man, we growing up in that, we didn't really know this was like mental health. Yeah. This was just survival. Life.
Yeah.
So to hear, and that's why I asked you that question. How do you balance that? How do you cope with that? Because those things never leave you, especially as an athlete, because it's like on one end, it made all of us, man, me, you, Agee, and every cat that's going for it, it makes you a tremendous athlete on the court because you know how to go hard. You know what you're fighting for. But then off the court, I think we all kind of struggle with relationship development. Like one of the things with Agee and I, we don't see each other a lot, but we had to get to the point where we said, you know what? When we see each other, we gonna pick up right where we left off. So if we ain't seen each other in 2 years, we going back to 2006 and pick up from there to keep the relationship and bring it up to today's date. So man, I appreciate you saying that. But we want to get into your game. We want to get into what make you, especially in terms of basketball, man. But man, you have some coaches in your life, man.
Yeah.
Talk about the importance of having a good mentor, especially coming up to the neighborhood you came in. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. I was very lucky, like you saying. If you don't have the right, not saying that women aren't involved, but if you don't have the right man structure around you, it's gonna be hard to be successful. So like I said, like my cousin that raised me, which is my father, he was still connected to everybody that I knew. So everybody was making sure I was taken care of, which I got lucky. You know what I mean? I got lucky that the streets and everybody understood that I didn't have nothing to do with what my cousins was doing, with my brother, et cetera, what everybody was doing. So I had mentors. Like a small example is like Coach Nutt. He's like a basketball hero in our community. So if my neighborhood was beefing with somebody from the South Side or beefing with Sursum Quarters or something, my neighborhood was so real that if I was outside just kicking it, instead of me being in the win, which I could be, because you know back then y'all know it's survival. Like if you gotta let the junk go, you let it go. And remember, we're not saying that because it's cool. It's just I gotta get home. You get, if that makes sense. So long story short, I was always protected because I had dudes around me like, you know what, bro, go in the house, man. Like them dudes that rode around here 3 times, we about to put in some work, man. Go in the house, go play basketball. Then I had dudes that explain stuff to me where it's like, look, if this happens, this is how you handle this. If this happens, this is how you handle that. And I felt like I wouldn't be who I am today if the people that didn't make those mistakes wasn't around me to tell me about their mistakes. Because all of my mentors, they sold drugs, they did drugs, they was involved in certain things. So the reason people say, damn, Lethal, why you don't drink or smoke? Because they don't know that heroin and alcohol runs in my family. So it's like, I don't want to drink one day, because my Uncle Larry told me this one day. He's still alive. He said, look, don't ever drink alcohol. He was like, the one thing, so he said one time he accidentally threw his wife out. He did all type of crazy stuff. And what a lot of people don't know is one of my uncles, you're not saying an accident, but he put himself in a situation that he had to go to jail because he did something to his wife and she didn't come back. So it's just like, I know if I go to a college party in college and I drink, who knows? Who knows what I might turn to? I might smoke some weed. That weed might turn into heroin or so I'm trying to break that generational that generational curse, because the people that was around me didn't lie to me. So like I had family members that was outside, they wasn't lying to me. They was like, look, this is what it is. This is what I did. This is what you're not going to do. This is what your biological father is doing right now. This is what, until he died, this is what blah, blah, blah. And that's why I remember one time, right? And I never really told this story before. I mean, it scared the shit out of me. So I was going from Uptown to Rudolph. Everybody used to go there to play basketball. But one time I was hanging out in the parking lot trying to be cool. So my cousin, which is my dad, that was raising me, like I said, he was in the streets, but he gave that life up for me when he took in me. But he would still educate me. So he heard that I was hanging out in the parking lot. So the parking lot is all fiends, it's all hustlers, but it's like New Jersey Drive, like in the parking lot. It's lit. Yeah. I'm trying to be cool, nigga. You hear me? So my dad said, you want to be cool? Come here. He took me to meet one of his friends, right? The friend hand was so big because the dude was shooting with dirty needles, right? So he said, you want to hang in this parking lot? And I looked at the dude's hand. I said, hell no. And he said, tell him what you do. He's like, man, young blood, you know, I mean, I do heroin, I do it all, da-da-da. And he said, this is why I want you hanging out in this parking lot. Somebody could rape you, somebody could, and man, listen, from that day, all I did was I go to the grocery store, I go in the house, and I go straight to Rudolph Playground, and then from Rudolph Playground, I go to the grocery store, and then I never hung out in the parking lot again. But the thing was, he wasn't doing that to like make fun of the guy. He's just saying, this ain't no hangout. Example. So that's why I always knew, man, you don't need to hang out on the block. The people that's hanging out on the block, I love these guys. Don't get it messed up. I grew up with these guys. These are my mans. I've known these guys since we was kids, but I'm not out there putting in work. I'm not out there selling the work. I can go out there for 5 minutes, kick it with my people, and keep it moving. And if I didn't have the infrastructure of men around me to always keep it real with me on life, I wouldn't be where I am, man. Because y'all know it's so many stories where we come from, where especially DC, man. I love all my people, but it's like, look at Lynn Bias, look at different. It just takes one time, and it's just I want to be the one to tell these kids, look, man, don't drink, don't smoke. And stay the clear route if you want to be successful. And if you want to go in that other game, is nothing. I mean, I can't fight you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Boy, that's so powerful. You know, man, that reminds me, man. Agee used to say this all the time, and people didn't get it, but I got it. Yeah. I used to get it every time he would say it. He would say, people could ask me who my role model is, and I tell them it's my dad. Yeah. And everybody would say, but Agee, how you pick your dad as your role model? And he would say, man, my dad taught me everything I don't want to do. And I was like, I get it.
Yep.
I get it.
on, man.
So I want to ask you about that too, man, because Agee did this piece a while ago, man, and we all kind of grew up in it. That Hooper's Pass,
right?
How did the Hooper's Pass? Because in order even for you to get the skills that you got, you had to hit the playground. In order for us to get the skills we had to hit the playground. Were there ever times that you find yourself though playing with cats that you knew was doing wrong, but this was the tournament you had to play in?
Yeah, so growing in DC, what I mean, you might have a game where, Berry Farms playing against Uptown, and then the Hustlers be like, yo, we gotta win this game, we give you, 8, 9, 10, woo woo. I mean, shit, I'm playing the game, you know what I mean? But that's the thing about playing our environment, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to say this was with Team Assault, but I've been at AAU games, man, where every time I hit a 3, I get $200. So if you tell people like that from DC, if we win this game, we're gonna pay y'all rent, do this type of stuff, we'll go out there and kill somebody. So it's just like, it sucks, but that was the environment that we was in, and we was placed around those type of people. But like I said before, I was so blessed to know, all right, cool, we about to play basketball. Soon as this basketball over, no disrespect, man, I ain't kicking it with you, dog. You get what I'm saying? If we in the house or something, cool, but I ain't after this basketball scene. I've been in situations around my way where people came inside the rec and lit that thing. I've been in shootouts where we beat somebody. The fight trickled from, it was in Langdon Park. We was beefing with a different neighborhood. The game finished. The fight trickled outside. They shooting from one side. They shoot from one side. But that's how it is. And like you're saying, not to be funny, that type of trauma still messes with me today. Because my girl, I'm brushing my teeth the other day. I'm not being funny. It's some real shit. She came around the corner, but she knocked first. Said, "Babe, it's me." Because if a quick movement happened, man, I'm still in messed up mode. I'm in, man. Don't let me have my kids or something. I hear something and it's still stuff that when I was younger, it still traumatized me. And you're 100%. Those type of environments, bruh. Basketball can have you around that type of stuff, man.
Hey, let me ask you this: when, after during your high school career, did you say to yourself, oh shit, I can use this basketball to go to college. Let me really take it serious now and not do too much hanging out. Let me just really focus on this ball. Because if you could tell in Hoop Dreams, that's what I did. Same area you talking about, the west side of Chicago, growing up, it was like, I have to stay so focused and disciplined on this basketball. I got to play this shit every day. If it's outside or somewhere else, when did you take it seriously where you was like, I'm using this shit to get to college?
So like I was saying, nobody in my family ever graduated from college. So my grandma Rosie, they used to watch me. And not to be funny, she couldn't read. So she'd be like, you got to make sure you learn how to read. You got to make sure, because you got to teach me and you get what I'm saying? So long story short, that was always my drive. Like, I got to get to college. I got to graduate. I got to be the first. So that was like my I would say you know how it is, man. We young. We just hooping the hoop. I say the 11th grade, that's when I started taking it serious. I was getting college offers even at the 9th grade, bro. But this thing is, you know how it is. You're around the way too. So like I said, I'm still around the way having a great time and living life. But, as I got into the 11th grade year, that's when I really started taking it serious. That's how I was getting Pac-10 schools, Big East schools, and SEC schools and stuff of that nature. And that's when I really started locking it down with Coach Nutt, making 500 shots a day, being really militant with myself and stuff like that. And it's like, where we come from, we don't get one mistake, bro. You get that one thing happen and you go to jail. Like people don't even know this situation. And this is how I know my cousin is a real one. One time I came back home from Washington State, right? You get to come home for the break. And my cousins and them was beefing with some dudes. So we getting something to eat. Some dudes knock on the glass. I look back. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 12 niggas outside knocking on the glass. My cousin's like, man, don't even worry about it, bro. He go outside, pull a joint up, boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I run out the joint, lay under a car. A lady sees me go under the car. When the police come, what she say?
He's under there.
He under there.
It's you.
They take me to the precinct, And remember, I got Washington State gear on. I just came home. You know what I mean? So the cop like, man, what's up, man? You went to this too, huh? So you know how it is, man. We from, it sucks, man. I can't boom, boom, boom. So I was like, look, sir, man, I don't even know, woo, woo. Thank God, because my cousin understood who I am for the family. He the one that told the truth. But that's that one situation. I love my family members. I love my friends. But if you trying to make it in college or you trying to make it as a pro, you trying to do certain things, it's certain people at certain times, you should not be around them. And that's just one small example that my good mans, my people from DC, they know this story because they know what happened. But the thing I'm trying to say is it's a lot of stories that people really don't know about me that I've been in. But these are stories that I can tell the next man. And it's another prime example. I hope the kid gets out of it. One of the kids from DC, he played at Alabama. Y'all saw what just happened?
Yeah, the Miller kid.
He played for my old AAU coach. So the thing I'm saying is, it was times I was at St. Bonaventure, Washington State. One of my mans are getting into a situation. Man, come on, man. I got to come up there for about 2-3 months, man. The feds, man, Washington State and St. Bonaventure ain't to hang out. You ain't about to come here and kick it for 2-3 months. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, imagine that situation, though. You know, I hope everything works out for this kid, but imagine if he'd have told his friend, man, you know what, cuz? This ain't the hangout, bro. You know what? After I finish this season, let's kick it a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Because we only get one situation. I'm not trying to say we're picked on, but as African Americans, bro, and especially in sports, when you're trying to make it, you got such a big target on your back that you can't get. You got to make sure you say no to some things.
Absolutely. And you're working with a small window. It's funny that you say that, man, because I remember when I came home from Marquette, I stopped by my mother's job, whose job was in the neighborhood. Just wanted to let her know I made it in safely. I drove to the house. Police trailed me from when I got off the expressway to my mother's job, waited till I got out, watched me drive home, get out the car, put the key in the door, rolled down their window and said, "What you doing back here? You need to stay up there. Ain't nothing back here for you." And it's funny, I took it as an offense.
They take care of you.
Yeah. I'm like, that's my neighborhood. But what I wasn't getting is exactly what you're talking about, because this is leading to my question. We take such ownership in where we come from. How do you, or how did you, or as you are continuing to do, and this is another balance question, balance how much you're going to do, and how do you recognize if you're doing too much? Because we got a lot of athletes right now, man. They have the weight of their communities. They got the weight of their families. They got the weight of just, like you've been talking about, being African American, being Black on them. Can you give them some advice? How do you negotiate that as you're trying to make it?
I'll say just understand that you can't make everybody happy. So like me, myself, I wish I was rich, but like people be pulling on me like as if I am. And if I didn't have the strong mental I had, it'll drive me crazy. So like you're saying, a good example is when I go back home to DC, I don't always let everybody know I'm back home, because that's not everybody's business, if that makes sense. Because I do enough when I come home for the community. But like I told you, man, it's World War II right now in the neighborhoods I grew up. So the last time that I just went home, we did the community outreach. I went to my other rec uptown where we did a community outreach for the kids. I went back to my hotel room. Wow. Like, you get what I'm saying? You know how bad I want kicking around the way, man, kicking with my homies. And man, I ain't seen you since elementary or middle school. Then I went to my elementary school because they retired my number that same week. I wanted so bad.
Wait. Huh? They retired your what?
Yeah, elementary, man. They retired my elementary and high school jersey, man.
Yeah, that Agee. Good, man. I don't mean to stop you in your emotion, but we gotta applaud that, man.
Yeah,
you might be the first cat I know.
Elementary,
right?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
We got to applaud that, man.
Yeah. So what I really wanted to do, man, it hurt my heart, man. I asked the new principal, I said, man, it's a lot of guys that I went to elementary school with that was on this team, and I want them to just stand here with me. Man, and I told him the guys, and he was like, look, man, no disrespect, we're not looking for them type of guys to be in this gym right now. So I had to take the award with just one person with me, but I wanted my comrades there with me, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? But that's how I got to realize how I have to move. And if you're my real friend and I tell you, hey, bro, instead of us hanging out around the way, you know what? Let's go hang out in Virginia or something and go to dinner or something. And then I go, if you my real friend, you'll do that. But if you want me to, oh man, Lethal being fake, he don't come around the way no more. Nah, you the problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like you the problem. And that's what, I'm a grown ass man. I don't let people make me feel like, I remember, you know, I love everybody. Don't get it messed up. But one of my good mans hit me up the other day and was like, yeah, man, like they talking about, man, you a white boy, dog. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, what? And they was like, yeah, we was watching the interview you did. They was like, man, you was acting like a white guy. And I said, you know what? I said, that's the problem about our neighborhood. What y'all want me to be on? What y'all want me to be acting ghetto or something like that?
Right,
See, the thing about me, the thing
like
about me is,
guy.
but the thing about me is that's the problem in our communities, bro. Like we just don't understand that some of the ways that we was taught was ignorant. You get what I'm saying? Like it's nothing cool about some of the stuff that the masses want to make cool for us to make us popular, if that makes sense. So when he told me that, I said, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But there are some people who are weak-minded to prove a certain thing. They might act a certain way in an interview and send it to their mans like, man, look, I know where I'm from. Yeah, I know where I'm from, but I'm still gonna be who I am so I can continue to be successful and come back to change those kids' life. If I continue to be like how y'all are, I'll just hang out all day and drink.
That's right.
Hey, it's so crazy you said that because me and Will was just talking about that the other day. Like I hate, like it's like on a chalkboard. Like I hate it when someone say, "Oh, he speaks so well. Oh, he's very articulate."
Yeah.
The fuck is you talking about? I'm not supposed to be articulate. Like I can cuss.
Right.
I can talk hood slang. I can talk professional. I can pronunciate, motherfucker. That means I'm talking white. Like what are you talking about?
Right. Nah, real talk.
Well, the reality is, man, the English language belongs to whoever can speak it. But that's right. That's another story. Well, listen, man, let's get some of this basketball in here, man. Listen, so you have this tremendous high school career.
Right.
You go on to Washington State, and just seeing your game, the way you shoot that thing, I'm thinking like, you know, at the time, the Pac-10, that's get up,
man,
running gun. I'm like, this is the. I'm like, okay. Everybody, if you a gunner, if you a shooter, if you a scorer, I'm like, go to the Pac-12 conference because they like to get up and down the court. So talk to us about what happened out there and that move that put you into St. Bonaventures.
Yeah, so what happened was, like I said, when I'm at home, they were strict on me. I'm in the gym every day. Dudes around the way, man, go ahead, get from around here, man. Go in the gym, go work out, woo, woo. I go to college. Remember, man, coming out of college, I had everybody. And like, you know, back then, the Pac-10,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That joint was no joke. So long story short, man, I get to college, man, you know, I'm straight from D.C., man. I'm loose. I got money. I got my own apartment. I mean, it's girls, it's parties. I'm the man. I wasn't focused. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't diligent in my craft. And the one thing that Tony Bennett told me, he said, man, listen, man, like, we want to make this your team your senior year. And in my head, I'm like, man, this is supposed to be my team now. But I didn't understand growth. I didn't understand waiting your turn. And that's where we come from. Where it's like, man, when you go to college, man, you got to shoot because we don't want to go back home. I'm trying to get to the NBA. I'm trying to make a pro. If I don't make a pro, I'm going to work at C. So it's like, you know, it's just, I wasn't focused, man. I wasn't focused at all. My second year, I was locked in. He was playing me in the big games. We made it all the way to the Sweet 16 my second year. And I felt like, you know, that was my time to start more, which I wasn't patient because all the big games against Brandon Roy, against Arizona with Mustafa Shakur, all the big games against Cal when they had Leon Poe, he would start me. But he would start me to check. Let me see if Chris really working on his craft for real. I wasn't still all the way 100% in. But what was I doing when my AAU coaches and my dad was calling? Man, I'm getting those shots every day, man. This dude ain't playing me the same.
Yeah,
you know how we make excuses.
Yep.
So he was like, look, I still want you to stay after I said I was going to transfer. He said, don't transfer. The senior year, it's going to be your team. And you know what people don't know is back then in the Pac-10, if you average 10 points, you going first round.
Easy.
You go easy. So he was like, listen, you're going to easily get there. Just be patient. Let us help you. Woo woo. Man, I'm out of here, man. So when I transferred, I had Syracuse. I had all these big time schools, but I'm like, I'm going to go to a small school so I can, go crazy there. So my first year I had to sit out because of NCAA. And my junior year when I got there, we did subpar because the first year I was there in Atlantic 10, they was last in the A10. We moved it all the way up to like number 7. My senior year, which was a blessing, that's when I really locked in. I was like 6th in the nation in threes made. I was number 1 in the conference in threes made. And what people don't know is when I broke all of St. Bonaventure's 3-point records, that was in 2 years that people held for 4 years. So if I'd have played there for 4 years, I would have crushed all their 3-point records. So they actually just honored me about 2 months ago, and they were saying that they can't put me in the Hall of Fame yet because there's so many people that have done great things before me that played 4 years that I have to wait because the 2 years that I did go there, I broke all the records that they want to do something. So this is how good God is, bro. I have to wait like 3 more years, but they moved all the trophy cases, and when you walk into the arena, it's Bob Lanier in my trophy case. As soon as you walk into the arena, man, that's God. That's God. Yeah, man. So they just gave me my own trophy case. Yeah, man.
Hey, you know what else is interesting about that story, man? And I'm going to try to bring it back around for you. But you didn't want to wait at Washington State.
No.
But then you get to St. Bonaventure, and then you got to run right back into another waiting state.
Exactly.
You still got to wait. But I appreciate that, man, because I think so many guys, especially now with social media and the strength of that, kids nowadays, and even when we was coming up, I think we would have been just like them too, but we didn't see it as much. We saw a lot of tape delayed NBA games or NBA on NBC, we watching that. But now they got such instant access to everything. And now there's so many opportunities for things to tell a kid nowadays to wait their turn. Man, you can't even keep kids on the same AAU team for 2 summers.
Man.
I mean,
it's sick.
Speak to that a little bit, just about waiting.
Well, a lot of people don't know, which, like I said, everything I say is God is good. So I'm actually a lead trainer for Nike and Jordan brand. So it's my job to look at a certain kid from the 9th grade and watch him all the way to the 12th grader, or see his body mannerisms, or see if he's sitting in the timeout and things aren't going his way, if he's pouting, or see, bro, when I tell you I watch everything. And the one thing I can say about grassroots now, I love these kids and they know I love them. These my guys. But the one thing that social media has done, it has made them feel like a certain type of entitlement, and they haven't even done anything yet, if that makes sense.
Hey, that's exactly what it is, and it's called ego.
Your ego.
Ego will fuck your dream up.
Yes.
I'm talking about, we had an NBA pro, Los Angeles Lakers, our buddy, Sean, what he say, Will? Say, my ego messed me up in Vancouver.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like you said, the social media has put that entitlement egos on these kids. And it would take someone like a you or I, or someone that, that then had that trial or tribulation that they would listen to. But they won't listen, they won't listen to nobody else. I hear some of them cuss their coaches out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. See, the thing is, the way I grew up, if I cuss how I grew up in my neighborhoods and with my coach, if I cuss one of my coaches out, man, my dad will give him the A-OK to fight me. You get what I'm saying? Smack me, because that's how we all grew up. You know what I'm saying? I was terrified to cuss at one of my coaches, man.
Yeah,
for real.
It's funny that you say that, Lethal, because this is what I'm hearing from you, and I hope our guests catch this too, man. Even though the situation you grew up in your household wasn't what people would call ideal, but every moment of your life, man, your pops or somebody in the neighborhood said something to you. In other words, there was something put in your DNA that stuck with you. And I feel like a lot of times that's what's missing with our kids, because Agee, you were speaking to this, but I think this has to happen early. They'll look at Agee, they'll look at you, Lethal, they'll look at me and say, man, can you help my kids? But I'm looking like, the truth is, and the reality is, we can help them, but the things that we do, it's consequential. Like, if you do this, then this can happen. If you don't do that, then this will not happen. But if it's in your DNA coming up, now when you say it, just like, when your coaches was talking to you, you gravitated because that wasn't the first time you heard it. So my question to you is, man, knowing that that's the situation, how are you getting in the minds and the heads of these guys who, if they with Nike, if they with Jordan Brand, they got talent, they got skills. Do you see yourself coaching them more than just basketball?
All right. Is that good? Yeah. So what a lot of people don't understand about my training, and I think it's different because if you talk to a certain way to kids now or a player now, like you're saying, they might not train with you ever again. And that's the risk that I take because I could care less. So a good example is like, let's say, did you guys watch the Nuggets and Lakers game last night?
Absolutely.
All right, so the night before, me and Michael Porter Jr. was in the gym till about 10:30 at night. I posted it on my page. So what people don't know is me and Michael Porter have a relationship that I'm not his father, I'm not his big brother, but I'm going to talk to him and let him know when he ain't doing something he needs to do, and I'm going to hold him accountable. I'm not going to talk to him as his friend. I'm going to talk to him as his trainer and his coach because I love him and I appreciate him. Now, if he takes it in a way that I'm trying to disrespect him, now, once again, like we said, that might be something internal that might have happened to him. But that's why as coaches, as trainers, you got to know how to be strategic, how you attack. Just like somebody around the way. You might be talking to somebody around the way that they might be a schizo, and then you might be talking to somebody around the way that might be a little bit off, then you might be talking to the normal guy, but you got to know how to talk to everybody a certain type of way. So I think my clients understand me because in my basketball training, I don't relate things back to basketball. I relate everything back to life. And that's what I do a good job of with my clients. Like another good example is Katavious Caldwell-Pope. So if you noticed yesterday, you saw how much passion he was playing with. He's playing with that passion because there's certain trigger things that I'm not saying it's about me. Don't think it because I did this, he did that. I'm just saying I'm gonna tell you how I feel to let you know this is what happened. You get what I'm saying? So
you say you watch everything. So you saying what you saying to Caldwell-Pope for a reason.
Yeah, you play for the Lakers. Now you're on the Nuggets, so this is business. You get where I'm coming from. So it's just like I'm gonna be that one that's gonna push you to a point that's so uncomfortable that when you first meet me, though, you're gonna be like, man, this nigga tripping. He tripping. That's what Sabonis used to say when I first started training. Sabonis made All-Star this year and second team, third team All-NBA. So the thing is, now me and him was talking after the season. He was like, yeah, you was right. I do need to do this with my jump shot. I told you. Now we start again in 2 weeks. Now we're going to attack more with the jump shot because in the playoffs, what happened? But the thing is, that hunger that he playing with, not saying he didn't have the hunger, but I'm saying the way the training was psychologically, what I do is what Coach Nutt and my dad and different coaches used to do to me growing up. Man, I'll be hooping with Coach Nutt or something. He be like, you know what? I guess you still don't want no heat in your house. And I'm like, shit, I'm trying. All right, I'll get up another 100. You get what I'm saying? Like, but these were mental games that they did. Yep. You know what? You ain't serious. You want to live around the way. You ain't going to run them hills no more. Go ahead, take the vest off. You don't want to run hills. All right, man, I run 2 more hills, man. I run 2 more hills. Like, so it's just, these are mental games that I do. And remember, these ain't mental games. This is the truth. Once I find out who you are and what you want to be, and if I feel you're comfortable, I'm still going to find a way to get up under your skin to push you to a level that's so uncomfortable so you can take yourself to the next level.
You know, you come out of your senior year of college, you know, you go undrafted. Right. Tell us how you feeling. Was that a depression point to you where you was like, they feeling like I ain't good enough? Well, I guess I'm going to go overseas. Like, you know, that's the whole move. You know, when you don't get drafted, few people gonna play in the NBDL at the time. That's what it was called, the G League or whatever. So many jobs only there. So tell us how that was when you went undrafted, your name wasn't called, how you get that self-motivation to get overseas and start raining bombs.
I'll say I feel like I had the right people around me, but I wasn't really as educated with going to NBA camps and doing all that type of stuff. So when that didn't happen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I went straight to a EuroLeague camp, bro. I got about 5-6 offers that was 6 figures, and I went straight to France. You get what I'm saying? Because I was like, this money's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living. Our sponsor was Audi. I had an A8. I had a penthouse. But here it go again. I'm a dude from DC. My first time in France. I'm living the life. I'm not focused. You know what I mean? I know the money is guaranteed. If that you should have never told me the money was guaranteed. Because you remember, you still have those moments as a human.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's why I'm so good with my clients, because I could watch my client play, right? And I could say, bro, did you really form shoot this week? Did you make 300 form shots a day? Man, you right, coach. I could tell. Because what I'm doing is I'm watching to see what they're doing, because I remember what I used to do. So you can't trick me. So when I went to France, I was killing in the preseason. So we won like 5 cups. I'm averaging like 25 points. When the season come around, I'm relaxed now. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. I'm not comfortable. I started playing bad. I messed up my knee. So they gave me the option that you can stay here, go back home. I said, shit, I got about 200,000. I'm trying to go back home. But I wasn't going home for the right reasons, bro. I'm trying to go home because I got money. I'm trying. You know how it is, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went back home, had a BMW, like, you know what I mean? I'm living the life, and then all go like that. Boom. Back at square one again. You get where I'm coming from? It's the truth. So I'm back at square one again. Back at square one again, but I didn't. It's just, I now as an adult, I realized, like you were saying this, you were saying you got to be patient. When they told me that I want to rehab in France, I should have rehabbed in France, and I should have locked back, because I know why I got hurt. I got hurt because I normally used to bike every single day to keep my legs and stuff a certain way, and I stopped biking. I stopped doing certain stuff, and I always had a sore knee, because when I don't bike and do the proper rehabs for my body, it takes off on my left knee. So when my knee got hurt, I knew why my knee got hurt, if that makes sense, because I was cheating myself once again. So I came back home. I had to play in semi-pros. Y'all know how it is playing around the way in semi-pros, just hungry, chasing the dream. I went to the G League back then. Here go another example. It was 200 people in the tryouts. They picked one spot. God is good. I cleared everybody in 3 days. Everybody got the one spot. The coach tells me, you're not going to play. We're going to play Blake Ahern because he's going to get a call up from Utah. Do not get discouraged. I'm like, all right, all right, whatever. He throws me in the games at the end of the game. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to shoot as many shots as I can. Shit, I'm trying to get a call up too. So he like, look, just relax. Just same thing that Coach Tony was telling me. You're gonna be the man with Cedric Bozeman. I don't know if y'all know who Cedric Bozeman is. He plays for UCLA. Said is gonna play the 1, you're gonna play the 2, because we're just getting Blake Ahern ready for the call up. Man, I'm out of here, man. I went to Mexico to play, right? Because it was about 90. I got about 90. So when I went to Mexico, I'm like, man, I'm good. Soon as I get to Mexico, what happened? Blake Ahern gets the call up.
Oh, Blake Ahern get the call up.
So I'm down there now. I'm like, man, I'm living like this. I mean, I was getting money. But the thing is, once again, God is teaching me, you got to be patient. You always want things when you want it, but that's not how life works.
Yeah.
So I started being patient again. But the thing is, I'm older now. My body's a certain way now. So now my body isn't moving the way it needs to move. So I went from there to go play at another team in South America. My lung collapsed because it's called pulmonary edema. You know,
what?
Yeah, bro. So my lung collapsed. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I can't feel my goddamn legs. So when I call my teammate, I'm like, yo, and they call an ambulance, take me to the hospital. That I was in the hospital for a whole month, bruh. I had to pee in the little hook thing. You know, when they hold the thing with the hook, so you pee in it to doo-doo. I had to lay on my side so the lady could put the can under my bed because I couldn't move my legs. So since I couldn't move my legs, my thigh muscles, they all went down. My calves went down. Now I'm in South America, all messed up. I come back home, but the one thing I can say about that team, God is good, bruh. They let me play one last game, and I got the footage, man. They let me play one last game to knock down a 3 before I went back home because I had to go get checked at Georgetown. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They put me in the game. Dudes was guarding me all crazy. I said, shit, I got to make this motherfucker. so the dude was checking me crazy. I knocked that joint down, and it was this, man. I got the footage, man. It's just all these moments have molded me to be the patient dad that I am, to be the patient coach that I am. And it all has just taught me about patience and understanding, we all want the gold. We all want the house on the hill. We all want the Maybach, but you can't rush that process. You have to be patient. Even though one process might say, man, I give you, you can get this quick money right here. All you got to do is sell a few 8 balls, and all you got to do is be in this house right here, cook up a little bit, put the hoodie on so it don't get in your pores.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want the quick money. I think I'll take the slow money because in the long run I'll win. But that's what I learned, and that's why I am lethal shooter I am today, because all the mistakes. That's why it's funny to me when people be on social media. If you were so good, you would be in the NBA. No. Where we come from is way better dudes than all the dudes in the NBA where we come from, but it's just those people didn't make it. Yep. And that's when you know that people don't understand where we come from, because we all got them stories that it's like, man, look at Earl Manigault. Look at all these different stories in all these different cities that if somebody did make a mistake, they'd be in the NBA. I'm not trying to say I did what Earl Manigault did, but people don't know my real story to know, man, I would have been pro if I was really diligent and really consistent the way I needed to be.
And that's what I'm quite sure that's what you're trying to teach your clients right now.
That's the biggest thing.
To stay consistent.
I know you got $200 million, bro. I know you driving the Maybach, bro. I know you the man. But guess what? You ain't that good. I need you to stay in your shot. I need you to go to the basket like a gorilla. I need you to be strong on defense. I need you to talk on defense. I need you to be a leader. And you ain't gonna look at me? So you can't look at me when we training, right? Oh, come on, coach. Come on, look at me then. Am I lying? Man, you ain't lying, man. So, boom. And now you look up a dude making $200 million diving on the ground. Like, you know what I mean?
This all I'm hearing is you the reason Denver beat the Lakers. That's all I'm
don't
hearing.
Do that. Lakers fans gonna kill me, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
Hey,
don't do
you
that.
Put out the Caldwell Pope. You in the gym, getting Michael Porter Jr. ready.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Those my people, man. When KCP was on the Lakers, God is good, man. I had Quinn Cook, Avery Bradley, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Katavius Caldwell-Pope, all in one season, man. God is good, man. God is good. So Laker Nation know it's nothing but love, man. It's nothing but love. Y'all ain't about to get me in trouble on this joint.
I feel that. Well, hey, listen, man. I know Agee and I want to do this thing with you real quick, man. We call this halftime, and we want to throw some quick hitters at you.
All right.
Agee, hit them with the first one.
Give me your top 5 shooters of all time, after yourself, of course.
Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot that I would say Ray Allen, and this is a crazy story I got about Ray Allen. I've always wanted to meet Ray Allen, bro, and I just met him at Final Four. We sat and talked basketball for 2 hours, man.
Damn.
It was a dream come true. I posted it on my page too, man. Like, I've been trying to get to this guy for so long, man. So shout out to Ray Allen. The second one, I want to say Craig Hodges, because people don't know.
That's our
people
boy.
don't know. Yeah, people don't know that overseas, right? I was riding the bench, dog. I mean, I was riding, but remember, I knew why I was riding the bench. So Craig came to me after the game. He was on the opposing team. He said, "Damn, brother, I'm looking at you in the warm-ups." He said, "Man, I ain't seen too many that's shooting the way you shoot. What's up, man?" You know me, man. They ain't playing me, coach. I don't know what's going on. He said, "Listen, man, I'm going to trade for you. Just make sure you stay in shape." He said, "Just make sure you stay in shape. I'm going to trade for you." And remember, we all know Craig, but I didn't know him personally. So I was like, man, this old dude tripping, man. Who is this Craig Hodges, man? Fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, Christmas come around, I get traded. So they traded NBL Canada. They trade me for cash and a first-round draft pick. I said, damn, this motherfucker's serious. First day we get in the gym. He teaching me all pivot stuff for the it's called the what's the system that Phil Jackson done played?
The triangle.
The triangle. So he kept putting me at the elbow. This is your read. This is your footstep here. When the guy drops, you drop this foot, you shoot. When he drops here, you shoot here. And I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker, this nigga genius, man. So I started realizing, let me do my real history on this guy. Because I always seen what he did, but I never really dug deep.
Yeah.
I said, man, this dude used to train when Kobe and them won them back-to-backs. It was Craig training Kobe. So, man, I couldn't get enough of this guy. Every morning, we watching film. Every night, we sitting up late. And any story he want to tell me, what was I doing?
Listening.
I'm sitting there, I'm listening to everything. Man, Craig Hodges that season, right? I broke all of the records in Canada that season. One game, I got it on my pay. I can send it to you guys. I scored 20 straight points, man. It's NBA threes. 20 straight points in a playoff game, man. Because how sharp Craig had my mind and my footwork and my game. And I give him a huge award for my life right now because I was always hungry. I was always who I am. But to get him as a militant coach, as somebody that understood where I came from and stuff like that, he really helped me become the trainer and the coach I am today because of how I was as a player up under him. I remember one game, right?
Amazing.
Man, they put this dude on me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know, we keeping it real. This dude was a little Rottweiler, man. He was all up in me. So I couldn't really drop the way I needed to drop, and I couldn't shoot the way I wanted to shoot because he was all up in me. Motherfucker Craig pulled me by my jersey. Man, when you get that motherfucking basketball, you drop low, you double jab, and you do your but the way he was saying, I said, man, I'm about to kill this nigga. Because I always wanted to make Craig happy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man,
right.
I started killing this dude so bad, man. And Craig looked at me, and it's like when he looked at me, I could have ran through a brick wall. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I gotta, man, just learn everything about Craig and how, all due respect to the NBA, because I am an ambassador for the NBA. What happened to him? If he would have played longer, more kids would know who Craig Hodges is. That's why with my brand, I never let his legacy die.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I'll say number one, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, number one.
Steph Curry, only because what he does off the dribble, I love Ray Allen, I love Craig Hodges, I love Klay Thompson, I love Kevin Durant, we love Reggie Miller. They not doing what he doing off the dribble.
Yep.
They not doing what he doing off the dribble. But if we want to say the best catch and shooter of all time, y'all might think I'm crazy. I don't know. You guys, I really truly think it's Klay Thompson, the best catch and shoot. I think off the dribble of all time, I want to say it's Steph.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on Klay because Klay don't even got a bend.
We've never had somebody score 60 points off 12 dribbles.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming. I think the best and y'all can check me if I'm wrong too. I think the best mid-range jump shooter ever is Kevin Durant. Only because he's 7 foot.
He is 7 foot. I might argue with you on that one a little bit. I like that boy that used to play for Detroit.
Who?
Out of the University of Connecticut.
Who you talking about?
Rip Hamilton.
Rip my man. Rip my man.
Rip, man.
He one of my mentors. But
Rip mid-range game was so tough.
It was amazing the way he changed pace. You know what? I have to give it and I have to respect Rip too because you know a lot of people don't know that Rip plays a major part in my life as well. So Rip is up there. I apologize about that one. Rip and Kevin. Yeah, you right.
Go ahead, hit him, Will.
Let me ask you this, man. And you don't got to be humble here. Who are the 3 players that you work with that made the biggest improvement in their shooting?
Yeah, man. So I let me put this out first before I say it. I feel like everybody does a great job. You know what I mean? When I train them, but God is good that so when you train bigs, it's extremely hard because they have to bend so low and they're so big. So when I moved 2 years ago, I moved to Arkansas with Bobby Portis. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. And this my man, I always be real with him. Man, Arkansas is boring. So when I was in Arkansas, I was bored, but I realized, remember, I'm thinking about Washington State. I'm thinking about upstate New York. I'm thinking about different places. I ain't bored. I'm here for somebody for their greatness. I need to stay diligent in my craft. I'm not gonna get distracted and just lay in the bed. So I was pushing him crazy, if that makes sense. That year after that, he went all the way to number 2 in the NBA and shot 47 from 3 2 years ago. This year, he didn't do as great, but he finished at 39%. But he is one of them stories that can show people that you can be great. Another great story. He didn't stay with me all summer this summer because my summer got booked. But the year before that, the whole summer, I had Grant Williams. He's never shot a 3. He shot about 3 or 4 threes at Tennessee. That year that we finished 2 years ago, he finished top 3 in the NBA in three-point percentage.
Wow.
Now, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he let me down this year. I love him. He know I'm going to tell him the truth. I tried to kill him this summer, man. When I say kill him, he'll tell you this story. Before he leave the gym, he got to make at least 50 out of 60 NBA. I'm doing stuff that I had to do. I'm gonna make you see Father God. You get what I'm saying? So he was holding on to number 1 the whole season. Then he fell to number 6 or 7. But I was still happy because it was just showing him
damn, man, this is it. Like, you was right. Like, and I'm like, yo, bro, don't make the mistakes I made. Because the one thing I learned, if in college or pro, in France or in China or in Mexico, if I score 30 on Tuesday, that don't mean Wednesday I can't get up shots. That means Wednesday I still need to get up shots. I still need to get up, but blah, blah, blah. And the work he's putting in is showing why he's one of the best as well. So I feel like Bobby Portis, and you know what, I want to give a shout out to Skylar Diggins as well. 2 years ago, she hired me for the whole summer. She broke all of her shooting records that next season with that. And it sucks because the way my schedule is, like right now, it's hard for me. I don't take on a lot of people in the summer, so you guys can know. So like in the summer, trainers can put 15 people in the gym. Unfortunately, I can't do that because with the art of shooting, I can't even train both of y'all together because both of y'all doing something wrong. Like for instance, you have you have a high shooting release, and you really both of y'all got a high shooting release. So actually, I might be able to put y'all both in there together. You know what I mean? I think that's not a bad one, but I normally don't merge players in together because everybody's doing something different. Like this summer, yep. I had Danny Green and Cole Anthony train together only because I wanted Cole Anthony to see Danny Green's work ethic as a vet. Mm-hmm. So I'll do certain mental things with younger people or with older people, but I'm just doing that just to trick their minds a little bit. But I never try to have a merge of a lot of guys. So this summer, I'm only probably going to take 6 people as well. So that means if I can't take on guys that I took last year because the way my schedule is, it just sucks. You know what I mean? Because I'm only one person.
Right.
Hey, listen, it must suck to be a lethal shooter. You know?
Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
Let me hit him with this, and then we're gonna jump into the transition to coaching. The last one: 3 toughest players you had to guard in college.
Oh man, and I mean, one dude I really wanted to trip and get him beat up was I got the footage, man. I got the footage on my page, man. So that was one of them games I was locked in, though. I had to play against Brandon Roy, right? And when I went against Brandon Roy and the coach and the scout, Coach Tony's, look, Chris, you know, this guy, you know, in my head, I'm about to bust his ass, man. You know, I'm not saying that during the film, but in my head, the stuff that Brandon Roy was doing, it was so slow and so paceful. It was like I was looking and he'd be here and I looked this way, he was back there, but he was moving so slow. You get what I'm saying? And I was like, this dude is amazing, dog. I'll say the second one is I didn't have to guard him as much, but I kept getting caught in damn pick and rolls with this dude. His name is Aaron Brooks. He played for Oregon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man, my teammate would not, so what Oregon kept doing was I had to check Oguchi. So they kept putting me in the pick and roll, so I would have to check Aaron Brooks. So I'm telling my point guard, bro, you got to fight over top of the screen. I cannot check this dude. He's
I'm not switching.
Me. Right. Dude, Coach Tony even saying don't switch. But you know how some of your teammates do. They'll act like they fighting over because they don't want to guard him either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man, this dude was cooking me so crazy. But that was another game that I got on my page as well that I was so hungry. I played a good game. I say the third one, it's not really somebody that I was checking. It's just I kept getting caught on the help side defense. His name is Hassan Adams in college. He had like a 40-inch vertical for Arizona, right? I told my teammate every time, he can't shoot. Stop letting them blow past you because I'm the back guy. And the one thing that Tony was about, if you don't take a charge, you coming out the game. And I'm like, bro, this dude must have dunked on me 3 times. One time he dunked on me, right? The dude knee was in my face. And and he dunked on me and I fell on the ground. And you know the coaching staff, they're like, great job. And I'm just like, man, this shit is embarrassing, man.
Right.
Those are 3 dudes that I'll never forget, man. But I played against a lot of killers in college, man. I remember in the tournament, we played against Vanderbilt. I forgot the guy's name, but this dude was a beast. I forgot his name, but I played against a lot of killers, man. It was a blessing to play in the Pac-10 and the Atlantic 10. It was a blessing.
Hey, Lethal, man, I know you got to get out of here, but Agee, now, man, we just got 2 more questions for you. If you can answer it. I'm going to hit you with this one, then Agee going to hit you with our final question. I just want you to share with us, man. Talk to us really quickly about, shooting at the pyramids, and then you're getting ready to shoot against a robot in Japan. Just tell everybody what's going on with that, man.
Man, God is good, man. Like, what people don't know, I've been putting it out. So the thing about Red Bull and Nike and Continental Tire, and I was just in a Google commercial that y'all probably just seen, the NBA commercial. I'm partnered with like AT&T. These people looking for NBA players. They looking for professionals. So to have companies look at me as an NBA player, it's just a dream come true, man. So to have Red Bull say, what are your dreams? I mean, well, you know what? I mean, I want to shoot in front of the pyramids. Are you sure? Yeah. All right, we're going to set up a tournament that's going to be at the pyramids to make that budget fit that. But that tournament is going to be on Thursday, and on Tuesday, you're going to be the first person ever to shoot in front of a pyramid. I said, man, look at God, man. Look at God, man. I'm telling you, the same idea. What's one of the biggest dreams you had? Man, I seen a robot shooting, and I know where the AI is going. I want to shoot against that robot. Man, 2 years later, they called me about 8 months ago. We connected. We're sending you to Japan for a whole week. You're going to shoot against the robot for 2 days. And then those other days, there's a lot of people in Japan that want to meet you and do stuff. I said, man, look at God, man. This is how good God is, bro. I'm the first person ever to shoot in front of the pyramids. I'm the first person ever to shoot underwater. I broke Craig Hodges and Steph Curry record with the three-point contest. I went 23 for 25 in 66 seconds. I'm the first person ever to, man, it took me 6 months to do this right here. I'm the first person ever, bro, to make a paper ball through a straw.
What?
I got it on my page. Bruh, let me tell you what happened. My mother-in-law was in town. When your mother-in-law is in town.
Wait.
How big the straw, Lethal?
The McDonald's straw, bruh. You can see it on my page.
You up here shooting spitballs through a straw.
Listen, this is what happened. So my mother-in-law, when your family in town, it's like, man, I'm bored, man. They getting on my nerves. So I was in there playing around. I said, God damn, I keep hitting the top. But the only reason I'm missing is because the ball kept opening. Man, I kept doing it. Ticket. The months kept going by. Ticket. Man, that joint went in, man. It's on my page. Man. It's on my page, man. It was a dream come true. And then right after I did it, a few months later, another he's like a big time TikToker. He does like insane tricks, man. This dude might make I don't know, man. He could shoot from here to do the way. It took him months, but he did it as well. Only 2 people have done it.
Wow.
That's insane.
It's crazy, man. But it's just those things to stimulate me, man, to just, you know what? I think I want to beat the 3-point contest, Red Bull. Give me a gym and let me run the racks and see what I do. And that's what I did. It was on ESPN. It's on my page, man. And it's like, God is good to just show people, if you work diligent at something and if you're consistent, it's gonna pay off, man. Bro. It's gonna. I'm not trying to tell people to go shoot a paintball through a straw, but I'm just saying I was determined.
Yes,
you get what I'm saying. So it's just, man, God good, man.
Hey, man, before,
you know what I mean, like Instagram.
Before my last question,
go ahead.
I'm just sitting up here saying to myself, we talking to a dude that come from the mud like us, and he has made himself. I mean, doing one of the oldest things that we've always done in basketball is shoot the basketball.
Right.
There's many other coaching trainers or trainers out there.
Great shooters.
But God has his hand on you,
right,
to become lethal shooter and develop these relationships with these companies, all promoting shooting and your realness of being you. You can't get no blessed than that. Like, I mean,
well, it's all about character. It's his character. We see it now. He's a straight up standout dude. At the same time, he understands, the importance, but he put the first things first. Man, I appreciate that about you. And I know I said 2 more questions to get to Agee, but man, we gotta ask you about your shoe, man. It wouldn't be right,
man. God good, man.
If we don't talk about your shoe, man. We gotta talk about your shoe.
You know we from, man. I'm from. Man, y'all from Chicago. I'm from DC. Y'all know how we feel about Jordan.
Did you meet Mike and sit down? Did Mike say, "Hey"?
Hey, look, if I'd have met Mike, man, I'd have passed out. But I never have met Mike personally. But this is what happened, man. So, but we can't stay long. But I'm gonna tell you some craziness. I'm the first trainer ever to have my jump shot in NBA 2K, man.
I know.
So what happened was Jordan Brand, they was like, listen, man, we want to test you having being the first trainer with your own shoe. I said, what? They said in 2 years, we're going to give you your own shoe. We saw with NBA 2K that we want to give you your own shoe. I'm like, they bullshitting. They sent me a mock-up. I'm like, God damn, this on clean. But the thing is, the people don't understand is when they send you a mock-up, you can't say nothing for like a year and a half. So you can't even talk about it. You got to sign an NDA, all type of stuff. So when the shoe came out, bro, it was like, I can't even explain it, bro. Y'all know where we from, bro. Like, I got my own shoe, and it's good because every elementary school, every middle school, every high school I went to, I sent them a shoe to put in the trophy case. So other kids can see, like, oh, shit, Lethal, man, he come from where I come from. He got his own shoe. Like, nah, if he could do it, I could do it. Because like I say, it wasn't like somebody fronted me, hey, man, Lethal, man, here go a house, here go some money. Nah, we had to get everything from nothing. So it's just like to have that come and you know, we can't say nothing crazy, but man, stay tuned. There's some big things happening, man, in the next 8 months, man. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna need y'all shoe sizes, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, Lethal, man, I gotta take a line from my from one of my guys from the ESPN show. We're gonna get you out of here on this.
That's how they beat them. Go ahead,
we're gonna get you out of here on this. What is the next Hoop Dreams chapter in Lethal Shooter's Hoop Dream? What's the next chapter in your Hoop Dreams, brother? Of what you could tell the world.
Okay, I could tell you what's about to happen. I could say this, but I do have some big stuff that off record when we all three of us could talk, I could tell y'all. But man, God is good, man. So 4 weeks ago, a month ago, Instagram reached out to me. So I thought it was spam mail. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this ain't the real Instagram, man. Fucking archive this shit. So they reached out to me again. So I'm like, man, I had my manager talk to the lady. God is good, man. When does this come out? When does this come out?
We'll give it about another week.
Another week. Instagram feels that I am a culture mover for the basketball community, and they're going to post my shooting video on the main grid in June. Yeah, so they reached out to me and they said, we feel like what you're doing for the basketball community is just remarkable. Do you mind if we post on our page? Man, y'all got 600 million followers. Of course. So, but all jokes aside, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man, I wanted to cry because it's like, people don't understand where we come from. I'm still battling, like I got to get better. Then it's like, dang, man, this is really happening to me with so much hard work that a platform of that magnitude will hit me up to say, we love your videos. Can we post your video? So that's one of the biggest things that's happening right now as a basketball player, because that's a hoop dream to me, to be seen as somebody where I come from and just using a jump shot. I remember, bro, I used to shoot in a crate every day around my way behind the market, bro. I remember back. See, the kids don't know when we had the ones behind the door where you do the suction and you push it behind the door. You could shoot with the ball that had no weight to it. You know what I mean? So I was still shooting that thing, and I go from that to the ball with the hanger. I used to hang the hanger in my room. You get what I'm saying? So I go from that to now. When I do these videos, people are like, man, like this is inspiration, but they don't know, like you said, bro, we all grew up doing this. And now one of my ideas are going to be on Instagram. So this ain't for me, man. This for everybody from where we from. This for all them kids in the alley. This for all the people that didn't make it. Man, through my story, I'm going to make sure all of our stories stay alive. And that's why y'all might not watch my lives. I always put y'all on my lives, man. I always put y'all trailer on my lives. On what y'all do, man, because it's just, it needs to be, man, if there's the NBA Hall of Fame need to put something in there for y'all, man. Like, seriously, man, like that's how much you guys mean to the culture, man. You guys are like, you guys are like angels that was sent to make people believe in something, because it's like, damn, like like, man, his mom like that, man. That's how my mom is. Or like his father, like, because I remember the scene, bro. I gotta get off, but I remember when your father, the scene, he was like, "No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it." And then you looked at him like, "Nigga, you ain't got no money." And I remember how I used to be in situations with my cousin that was my father, and he'll be in situations like, "Nah, I'll take care of it." And I'm looking at him in my head, but you can't embarrass him. But it's like, nigga, you ain't about to, like, what you in here faking for? But it's like moments like that I can cry, and it's just like, man, I could watch that movie 100 times, man.
Oh,
I love
man.
y'all,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Love y'all,
Thank you,
man.
man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being on the show, man. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And I've been following you forever.
I'm about to follow y'all. I didn't even know y'all had. I actually found. I was tweaking over y'all one night, man. I said, man, where these dudes at, man? So when the podcast came up first. I couldn't find y'all Instagram. So if y'all send me y'all Instagrams, I'll follow that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm the gold of my era. I've been a trending topic. I'm as fly as a feather. My pockets macroscopic. See, with time I get better. I'm always in the action, kid. Know I got it locked from Chicago where the toughest live. Concrete jungle, earn my stripes on the pavement there. You make it here, then you can make it anywhere. No comparison. Your game is embarrassing. No one can touch me. I'm all for going there again. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me.
Hoop Dreams the podcast, an Unlearning Network production. Written and produced by Arthur Agee, Will Gates, Matt Hoffar, with audio engineering from Matt Savage. For more episodes, check us out at www.unlearningnetwork.com.
Gotta be a dog to survive in this cold weather. Ice in my veins, no need for a warm sweater. I'm coming for it all, best believe I won't let up, yeah. Hey, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me.